Good morning, Northeast Division. What is up? Happy April. So, anything new or strange going on out there? Yeah. So, this broadcast coming to you from, Brady Land Productions here, coming to you from home here in Mount Airy, Maryland. Things are a little different out there, as you all know. But like we do, we overcome, we adapt, and we succeed. That's just what the NED does. But anyway, it's great to be in front of y'all. March we skipped March because of kickoff meetings, and most of the kickoff meetings we were able to do. There's a couple that we had to put off a little bit because of what's going on. But I'll tell you what, man. I look around the division, and in March, we had some incredible performances. No matter what's going on out there, we have some folks that are really just continuing to just crush it. So let's do this. Let's start this broadcast out with our top 10 for March. So let's roll that. Some incredible numbers. When you think about it, the last couple weeks of March, things kind of got turned upside down a little bit with all the stuff going on, and we still have a ton of folks making a lot of money. I mean, hats off to the folks out there that are just continuing to crush it. And what's interesting, we had 15 people sell over $60,000 last month in the month of March, which that is just that's really cool to see. So what I want to do for this broadcast is, things are a little different. It's a little harder to get in houses, and there's some people out there that are a little skittish with having you come in. What I want to do is I want to ask some of the folks that are truly just continuing to crush it out there what they are doing to be successful in this time. So first, I want to go to up to upstate New York and Sam. Sam, if you could tell us what you're doing up there, because you were in the top 10 list. So tell us what you're doing.
Good morning. I'm Sam Schubach from Branch 997 in Syracuse, New York. I wanted to share to all of you what has made me successful. I like to start off by saying my first goal upon entering a home is to create a bond or an icebreaker with my customers. Most of the time, in my experience, this happens over dogs. I try to be friendly with them, ask questions about it, and talk about my own life and try to relate to my customers. By doing so, I am now no longer a salesman. I am now a trusted service professional. I then provide a top-to-bottom inspection of the home. I ask questions where needed and take as many pictures as possible. Pictures speak 1,000 words. I will propose anything that I see of value to the customer and make sure that all that all my numbers are correct, including my RAC agreements. When I sit down with my customers to offer them help with their pest control and wildlife solution needs, I start with RAC and I end it with RAC. RAC is my best closing tool ever. On a side note, I've been very conscious for not only my customer, but also myself by wearing proper PPE. As well as we all know, it is more important now than ever before. Now is the best time to provide service solutions to our customers than ever before, because America is extremely health conscientious. I like to tailgate technicians to services, and in doing so, I create my own new leads on top of what comes through my office. Happy selling to all of you. Have a great day.
My man Sam. So here's obviously what I loved about what Sam said is he's only been here like around 6 months. So basically what he's doing is what he's been taught to do, which is the process. He's trusting the process because that's all he knows. You know, he's filling up his day, doing a top to bottom inspection, offering everything that the customer needs can benefit from, because that's all he knows. And even in this time, he's crushing it. The one thing, if you picked up on that he said that I thought was really cool, was he talked about, and when he's at the door, the bond that he creates with his customer. He uses the dogs or the pets or whatever to kind of, build that bond with them. But that's really cool because you break that barrier down from being a salesperson into like kind of like a consultant, and that's pretty cool what he does. And of course, the other thing that he noted was, if you picked up on it, was, people nowadays with everything that's going on in the world, they're health conscious. What they're more aware of that. So the things that we offer, from our tick, our mosquito, our attic remediation, dry zones, that kind of fits into the health conscious people, and that's really coming to the forefront these days. So with that being said, let's go over to Baltimore, and Jeff Merkin, he actually had a really good month last month. It continues to shine up there, and let's see what his secrets were.
Past couple weeks, been doing my prospecting by staying in contact with the route managers more, seeing what customers are letting them in, and seeing kind of what they've been seeing inside customer houses. Make it easier for me to get my foot in the door. Also, anytime get a lead in, call it, try and move the appointment as soon as possible, in my schedule and the customer's schedule.
Jeff, a man of many words. I love it. But what he said was so important. Working with your route managers, because your route managers are still out there performing services, and if you have that relationship where you're talking to them throughout the day, they know what folks are letting them on the inside of the house to do the services. And if they're letting the route managers in, they'll let you in to do your inspection. So working with your route managers is key. So make sure, if you haven't been doing that, do it. Get to know your route managers. Give them calls. Be friends with them. So now, sticking with Maryland, let's go to DJ Christian and see what, he sold $103,000 or $107,000 last month. What was he able to do? How was he able to do it?
So during these hard times for everybody's home. I've been lucky to see between 6 and 10 appointments a day, where normally I'm doing between 3 and 5. So a lot more appointments, a lot more opportunities to present items. Customers really appreciate all the protective gear that we're using with the gloves and the mask and the booties and all that, and 6 feet distance and all that. So they really appreciate that as well. And of course, RAC, who doesn't love that? So put it all together, and that's how I do it.
Man, Christian, you look tired in that video, man. You look tired. Have some coffee, brother. But anyway, so a few things that Christian was talking about is, one, with what's going on in the world, there's a lot of people home. It's almost like every day is a Saturday because the decision makers are home. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. The other things that he was talking about was he's running between 6 and 10 appointments a day. Now, knowing Christian, I've known Christian now for about 8 years. And he's been on this broadcast before when we talk about what it takes to be successful, how many appointments you need to run, stuff like that, where he's always been running 4 or 5 appointments just because of his thoroughness with his inspections. But now he's running 6 to 10 appointments. And when I was talking to him the other day, what he was telling me was, when he's running re-eyes, you're having some folks that aren't letting you in the house. So he's making sure that he's putting himself into a situation that he's able to get in the houses. And that's why he's setting up and making sure he's running those 6 to 10 appointments a day. So again, make sure that you're, really running those, getting a lot of appointments out there, getting the opportunities, and you'll get into a lot of houses, but you got to make sure you're doing that. And the other thing he talked about was the safety equipment. For the love of all things good in the world, make sure that you're wearing the gloves, the booties, sanitizing your hand, the mask, respirators. Be safe out there. That's our #1 priority for you. So with that being said, let's go to Sam Roberts down in Virginia. Let's see what's making him successful during this time.
Mainly what I've been focusing on is pest control customers, especially new ones coming in with starts, because if they're calling in right now with the pandemic going around and they want someone on the inside, it's a big deal to that customer what the issue is. So if they're dealing with mice, they're really not a fan of mice. They want us to fix the problem. So it's a good way to get in there, check the attic, check everything that's going on, and see what we can do to fix. And then, of course, it's termite season, so if any techs are seeing flying ants or customers saying they have flying ants, I'm communicating with them on, it's probably termites. Let's get an inspection, all that, trying to see as many people still as possible.
Thanks, Sam. So again, Sam was talking about working with the route managers. Again, getting into people's houses by working with the route managers. And the other thing that is helping him be successful is the PC and OTC customers, the new PC and OTC customers. So when you think about it, and if you don't know this, I'll fill you in on something. We're still getting a ton of people calling the call center for pest control issues. What's amazing it's not really amazing. It kind of makes sense because there's a lot of people home now, so they're seeing the pests in their house and they want them out of here. Kind of guess that's why we're an essential business, pest control, which is kind of cool. But anyway, what he's talking about is all the new PC customers. So if you're not going after all those starts and all the folks that have signed up in the last 30 to 60 days, the new pest control customers, you're missing a boat, because those are great opportunities to go out there. And of course, especially on the starts, the people are going to be there. The route managers has to get in the house. You can go with them and do your inspection. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. Now, last but not least, let's go to our Permatreat region, and their top seller last month was JESSY MILBY. Let's see what her secrets are.
With everything going on, obviously with COVID-19, the way I've been doing that's been finding a little bit harder, more challenging, getting customers to come to the home or let me come into their home. So the way I found the way around that is, first off, just making more phone calls, and it's simple as that. Just calling more customers, finding the ones that say yes. The ones that are concerned, I just let them know that I do have the proper gear, and I'm going to do whatever they're comfortable with. A, I have my N95 mask. B, I have my shoe covers and my gloves. Letting them know that I'm, therefore I'm also being protected as well. I always ask before I enter the home if there's any health concerns in the home before I walk in. As long as they say no, which they all have so far, I will continue my inspection.
Thanks, Jess. So, safety. She's talking about, again, the mask, the gloves, the booties. Make sure you wash your hands, sanitize your hands. The branches have those little foam containers with the hand soap. Make sure you have those in your vehicles. Make sure that you're being very cautious as far as safety. The other thing that I really like what she says is that she's asking the people if there's any health concerns in the house. Because if there is, you don't need to go in. There's plenty of people out there to go see that the houses don't have any health concerns. But make sure you're doing that. The other thing that she talked about was the amount of phone calls that she's making. She's making more phone calls. And it's going to take more phone calls. But what's really cool about these folks, man, they share some really good ideas. And I hope to God you took some notes about this to put it into your repertoire. Because things are a little crazy out there. But the one thing that we all have is we all have bills. We still have mortgages, and we got to put food on the table, stuff like that. And there's a lot of people out there that are taking advantage of this time and being successful with it. So I encourage you to make sure that you're filling up your days. It might take you more phone calls to fill up your day, but the opportunities are out there with the new pest control customers, working with your route managers, and getting into these houses. Make sure, for the love of all things good in the world, that you are being safe, you're being cautious, you're wearing your mask or your respirator, your gloves and your booties, and making sure you're sanitizing your hands. It's very important that you're being safe out there. and make sure you trust the process. You know, the process still works with filling up your days no matter how many appointments it takes, doing those top to bottom inside out inspections, taking lots of pictures, you know, offering a customer everything that they need and benefit from, and making sure you're using rack. A few of these folks were talking about RAC, and what's going on in the world right now is if you're talking to people that are unemployed, that lost their job, or they're on furlough, with 90 days savings cash, we can get that work done for them, and they won't have a bill until August. All this stuff is going to pass by then. So we can make sure that we are taking care of the customer and giving them that healthy living environment for them and their families. So, but anyway, with that being said, you know, I want to thank you all for everything that you do, and be safe out there. Trust the process.